¿Qué onda, vatos? Thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for hitting the like on the video or wherever it's at. Thank you for supporting the channel yet again. Yet another beautiful day out here in California from the West Coast. So let's, you know what, man, that intro's all botched up. Anyways, let's go ahead and just get on in with the video, with the topic of today's ride. Man, yeah, it's been a long day at work. It's a little chilly today. It's a little surprising. The last couple of days has been nice and warm. It's been in the high 90s. Right now, it's just a little chilly. Long day, like I said, it's been a long day at work. Anyways, yes, let's get on with the topic. I just wanted to kind of just discuss and talk about maybe the reason why you would consider a lowrider, or you know what, a purpose build lowrider, kind of like mine, with the saddlebags and everything else. Why would you consider getting this over, let's say, a street glide or a touring bike? It's something that's pretty much sold from Harley-Davidson, that you don't have to, spend more money. You don't have to dish out an extra $5,000 or whatever. I actually spent maybe about $7,000 on my build. But you know what? You don't have to do everything. You don't have to do everything that I did to my bike or to my build to kind of get a bagger, a purpose build, or you know what? Essentially, technically it's pretty much a sport glide. But in my opinion, it's just a little bit more sportier, because it's got the detachable saddlebags, kind of like a sport glide. In my opinion, it's just a better looking bike, the color scheme and everything else. Anyways, this is about the touring bikes. Yes, you're looking at over 20,000 bucks. Yeah, the MSRP on the Lowrider is 18,000, and like I said, you don't have to spend 7,000 bucks to kind of get it to, I guess, a bagger. Hence, a baggerish type of a bike. You could just spend the money on the saddlebags, and that's pretty much it. My Leather Pros cost about, how much did I say? 700 bucks, and that's really all you need. You don't need to spend all that money on the build that I have. Yeah, a lot of that, you know what, I guess the stage 1 or the Harley tax, that's given, of course. You got to put exhaust, and you have to get it to perform decent, because straight from the factory, nobody wants to ride a Harley with stock exhaust. It's just going to sound like crap, and it does sound like crap. It sounds like a sewing machine.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
The reasons why I went ahead and decided to kind of pick up a lowrider over a touring bike, it's just the weight, all right? And I've had forward controls, cruisers. I've had my Sportster. I love the way that Sportster felt. And I've had big frame bikes as well. And you know what? They all have their own thing. They're all special at whatever, touring bikes, long range, comfort, Sportsters, a little bit more agile, more sporty. It just has a different feel, but it still has the same sound and it has the same feel of Harley-Davidson. So yes, the reasons why I just wanted, like I said, is just the weight, the control, the ability of throwing this thing around into corners. I don't ride 2-up, so I just don't need it. I didn't need that extra comfort or that extra suspension. I'm not a heavy guy. I weigh about 170 pounds, 175-ish pounds. The stock suspension is good enough for me, honestly. And I also went ahead and threw a seat on here. But anyways, overall, $18K with saddlebags. Technically, it's a bagger, and the stock risers felt great too. The 5-inch risers on the Lowrider S. These are still the stock bars that you see here. These are still the factory stock bars. They're about 32 inches wide. and I say maybe 3.5 rise. So you have 5-inch risers plus the 3.5 of the handlebar. So technically you're at about 8 inches. So I only really added about 5 inches. I have 14 now, but yes, it's just the overall feel of the bike. Like I said, I really enjoyed having forwards. I mean, I am 5'7", so I mean that's just going to depend on everybody, on your size. It's going to depend on your frame. A lot of people in the Facebook group just don't like saddlebags on a lowrider. They don't like forward controls on a lowrider. But the thing is, I mean, like I said, it's just going to depend on your size and on your preference. A lot of people, like I've mentioned in my previous videos, a lot of people that are closer to 6 feet, they just feel super cramped on this bike. So forward controls, that's going to be a good remedy for that problem. It's going to fix that. So that's the way I see it. And I mean, there's I don't know why it's such a big deal for people to do with their build, what they want out of it. I mean, mine's a purpose build. I've been riding this thing. This is pretty much my daily rider for the last year and a half. I've been riding my bike to work. Just got off, and I mean, it's functional. It does everything I need it to. And then on the weekends, I could just take off the saddlebags, and the bike's still going to look good. It still looks great. So I'd say that's probably the second reason why you would consider a purpose-built lowrider. It's just over a touring bike. Maybe you want to hear that the sound of the exhaust. I can tell you guys off the bat. I mean, the sound of the exhaust just doesn't sound the same when I have the saddlebags on. Once I take off the saddlebags, you can really hear this Milwaukee 8 roar. I mean, it sounds beautiful. It sounds great with the right pipes, of course. But yes, I mean, the bike still looks great. Have you guys seen some of those touring bikes without the saddlebags? They just don't look as nice. On top of that, you get to, like I said, I mean, if you take off the saddlebags with the Leather Pros, you're taking off about 20 pounds. Is that right? Man, I can't even remember. Anyways, I have a whole video on the overall weight of all the components. The Plex Audio 10, you know what, I believe it's 40 pounds. I believe, man, I can't remember, but somewhere around there. I believe they're 10 pounds a piece when they're empty, of course. But you get to shave off a few pounds on the weekends when you don't necessarily need it, and it's just kind of, it's good to have the best of both worlds. All right, a lot of people like having touring bikes and sportsters, or vice versa, Dynas and touring bikes, so they can have both. But I mean, that means you're having twice the payments if they're financed, and then you have your insurance. It's going to go up a little bit. So why not get yourself a build like this, a lowrider, purpose build, that you could do both? I mean, it's like I said, it's the best of both worlds. I could detach everything you see on the bike in about 5 minutes. The front fairing, saddlebags, and then the Plex Audio, I could take that off too. It doesn't take me too long, and now I have myself a more traditional bobber-ish build. No fairing, no bags, no anything. It's just the bare minimum, the bare essentials when it comes to riding. So it's, yes, I mean, that's why. I mean, I guess that's the third reason why I wanted a lowrider bagger or purpose build over a touring bike. And the overall price, of course, is also another good reason why you would go ahead and get yourself one of these bikes. I've had plenty of chrome bikes, and I wanted a blacked out one for a change. All right, I wanted to go. I wanted to get all the components blacked out, forks, just everything. All the components, the fender struts, the engine, primary, all of that good stuff. I wanted it blacked out. The dashboard, of course. I wanted a blacked out bike, and my only option with the touring bikes, like a street glide or a road glide, I was gonna have to dish out $27,000, and then, I mean, that's pretty much what I ended up paying for my bike. But after the whole build and everything, but you know, there's still other components that I would have to have purchased anyway. So yes, once you consider what you like, especially if you like a blacked out bike, it's always cheaper to get it from the get-go, from the factory, or from Harley-Davidson, from the manufacturer. You've even seen these with Matt Laidlaw's videos. He always says, you know what it cost him for his first sport glide? For his first street glide, it cost him a whole lot more than what it would have cost than just buying a flat out sport glide special, street glide special. Sorry. Of course, at the time when he purchased the street glide, those weren't available. But myself, I wanted a blacked out bike. I wanted, like I said, the components, blacked out, everything. So my only option, like I said, would be a whole lot more, and I didn't want to spend that much, and I wanted to keep it under 20,000. So this was yet again another great option for those purpose-built Lowrider S owners, stuff like that. All right.
Okay.
If there's anything else that I left out, just check in the description. Like always, I always tend to put like paragraphs in there of just stuff that I usually cut out and stuff that I usually just kind of forget. I don't plan these videos. I don't script them or anything like that. There's no notes. So this is just off the top of my head, just stuff that I'm kind of thinking about, and just yeah, that's the majority of my videos, just rambling and just shooting it from the hip. All right, you guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.